Hey everyone, Hunter here from Lego Studios. Welcome to...
It's a Ready Player One review. You could probably tell it from the title. Also,
Yeah.
This is our second take, our video thing.
I messed up the intro. I messed up the intro. I should feel ashamed.
Hey everyone, Hunter here for Lego
You
Studios.
messed it up too!
Yeah, whatever. They get
Okay.
the idea.
Okay. So welcome to this video. As you can see in the title, David and I are doing a review on Ready Player One, which is a new movie based on a book.
Arguably one of my favorite books of all time. So going into this, you know, I've read the book I think 5 times now. Both the physical book, the audio book, and just you know, reading through the wiki and getting all the information, reading up all the references, yada yada yada.
Yeah.
I really like the book.
Mm-hmm.
So going into this, I have some very high standards for the movie, and we'll get into those for a little bit.
Yeah.
Hunter, on the other hand, had never even heard of it.
Never.
Up until when I told him about it. He's like, "Hey, have you seen this trailer?" No.
Yeah, when
Like,
he
dude,
said this
watch the trailer.
I had seen like commercials for it, and I'm like, "What is this movie?" Usually I just skip the ad. I did. I paid no attention to it because I was like, I have no idea about this movie.
Yeah, he wasn't along for the ride over the past 8 years of them purchasing film rights and looking forward to stuff, and then switching around with directors and all the drama leading up to it, and then eventually Steven Spielberg doing it and all the excitement. He's just like, no, I'll just skip it.
Yeah. So I haven't seen the. I haven't read the book. Now that I've seen the movie, I really want to read the book.
Yeah, I'm gonna try and lend him a copy of it at some point.
So I definitely want to read it. But being that I want to read the book, that means I kind of enjoyed the movie, and which I did. Yeah. I actually really enjoyed the movie.
Well, just on like a 1 out of 10 scale, how would you rate it?
I'd give it a 9, solid 9. There's a few things that I was like, like
nitpicky stuff.
Yeah, small little nitpicky stuff. But to the point where I'm not gonna minus more points for the movie. I give it a full solid 9.
Yeah. Me, again, being my favorite book of all time, well, one of my favorite books of all time, I'm going to be a little bit harsher. I'm going to give it a 6.87, something like that. I will actually admit, this is actually the second time I've seen the movie now. And I'll say I did actually like it a little bit more after the first time I saw it. Just because, first time you see anything, you got your expectations, you have an idea of what you want to see, and whether or not you see it, that influences your opinion a lot.
And if you have really high expectations for something and all that, and you see the movie and it doesn't hit that qualification, then
you ride the hype train too much, you're gonna.
That's what happened with The Last Jedi. I swear, people got so hyped up for that movie, so hyped. That is not. That's not a lie. People.
I'm not talking to hype. It was still an intrinsically flawed movie, and it had so many problems with it. Even though I enjoyed it immensely. So
watch it the second time, you're gonna like it a lot more. Trust me.
I do need to watch it a second time.
But I saw it in theaters.
That's a discussion for another day. Okay. Discussion on hand is Ready Player One.
Yes.
So, like I said, high 6, 7, something in that range. I think that.
So it's on the better scale than the worst scale.
Yeah. Oh yeah. I definitely enjoyed it quite a bit. Yeah. I would say that as just a standalone movie, if it had nothing to do with the books, it's okay, even good. I think that as far as referencing the book, it did a lot of really cool nods here and there. I think that it did a really good job of portraying what it was, but I think, obviously they had to change a lot of things because the book is so phenomenally complicated.
David was just telling me a bit of it, and it took
it's not that it's long.
Minutes?
It's just that there's so many interconnected things that are all fitting.
It took about 20 minutes to get to the first gate.
Yeah,
and there's 3.
Yeah. In case you couldn't tell already, we're gonna be going full on spoilers.
Spoiler.
You've been warned. Although it's been in theaters for like 2 months now. Just go see it. So,
2 months, really?
Well, I don't know how long it's been, but it's been in theaters a while. If you haven't been spoiled already, it's like, bleh.
Yeah, we meant to go early.
Yeah.
The funny thing is.
He went and did a whole Comic-Con thing. It's like, I don't want to go see a movie with you.
No joke. He invited me that day. I was in my hotel room, relaxing, watching the Lego movie.
Yeah, I was like, dude, you still want to see that movie today? He's like, no, I'm at Comic-Con.
No, I asked him, like, David, have you been on Facebook today? He's like, no. I'm like,
I don't
I'm
do
in
Facebook,
Indiana
like...
right now. I think it's a bit hard to get back to watch a movie and then come back.
So you can be done.
So we meant to do it earlier, but then we got...
So yeah, we're really kind of behind the bandwagon at this point, but...
We still saw it.
Yeah. So that's kind of our initial impression, going into it.
I thought it was a great movie.
Well, elaborate on that. What were some of the things that you thought were really cool about it?
Okay, so are we in the spoiler spot of the video or no? Because if we're not going spoiler,
we'll just give a real brief plot synopsis, I guess. So it's a world where there's
anything can happen.
Well, can't. I was gonna say it's a dystopian world set in the future. The planet Earth is kind of crappy and everything.
Wasn't it 2040?
2045, yeah.
Yeah, 2045.
And everybody's all like, "Well, this world sucks. Let's spend all of our time in a virtual reality
where everything
multiplayer online video game."
Yeah,
so they all wear the goggles, they got the gloves, they like, and yeah, it's the world of licensed properties and
the world of imagination.
And also Minecraft.
And oh my goodness,
there's literally a Minecraft.
Cameo.
The first thing you see when you go into the Oasis is
Minecraft World. Oh my gosh, like, I thought that was hilarious.
Yeah, I wonder how much Microsoft paid that.
That was wonderful.
There was kind of rampant product placement. I saw the same bag of Doritos like 4 different times in the movie, but again, it kind of goes with the whole 80s consumerism thing, yada yada. So it's like, whatever.
So you can definitely tell that there was some copyrighted things in that movie that they needed to get permission.
There was so much licensing going on there.
Licensing was probably an issue through the beginning of that movie.
So anyway, virtual reality world, everybody likes to hang out in rather than the real world. The guy who invented the whole thing dies and says that the first person to find his Easter egg thing, which is hidden somewhere in the world, will inherit his entire fortune, control of the game, blah 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 blah. And so
become ruler of the server.
Become ruler of the Oasis. And so our hero Wade Watts goes around doing this whole thing, and
hangs out with his
spoiler
friends.
alert, he gets the egg in the end. Yada yada yada.
That's kind of makes sense.
So it's this whole adventure thing. And they're opposed by the evil corporate Sixers who want to get it just, for
IOI.
money and IOI and all that. Yada, yada, yada. And along the way, there are innumerable 80s references, pop cultures, cameos. All of the references are had.
Yes.
Although, I will... if you go see the movie and you haven't read the book, you'll think... Dang, Aldi, his references, so many references, oh ho ho ho. Dude, you ain't seen nothing till you read the book. There is literally a 3-page description of all of the dude's favorite things from the 80s, for no other reason than that he just wanted to say what his favorite things from the 80s were. And it goes on and on and on.
Dang.
And just the level of 80s references kind of belies belief until you've actually read the book. It's astonishing. But so I was impressed by how much restraint they showed throughout the whole thing as far as not making too many 80s references.
Again, they are limited on time. It is a movie.
Yeah.
So in a book where you have endless amount of time, you can... It's a book.
Yeah.
You have...
Well, we'll get to that in a minute. So anyway, back to the original point. So what did you like about the movie?
I like the... other than the cameos, I liked the twist at the end. The small twist about the quarter. Well,
yeah, that was also one of my favorite moments from the book, too, even though it was handled a little bit differently, but it was basically the same thing.
Yeah. And I liked the characters. I liked, again, spoilers, I did enjoy the part where the friends actually do group up together.
Mm-hmm.
Where they all meet up, and they're just meeting for them in person for the first time and just like realizing this is not what I expected. And then Sho walks up. He's like, Sho, what? And he's like, yes, I'm 11. I'm 11 boy, 11-year-old boy.
Mm-hmm.
And he's like, you're the most kick a 11-year-old I've ever met.
Plus, the whole thing with H.
Yeah. Oh, I I love H. That was
No
funny.
spoilers.
I won't.
Okay.
Well, spoilers
Yeah,
will be
you'll have to
happening.
see that yourself. It's
Yeah, we don't want to spoil that.
yeah.
We're gonna be
H,
talking
The
spoilers. and all that.
quarter, the whole thing with Moro. Those are like all individual, really cool moments from the book that they actually carried over fairly well into the movie. But even in a spoiler review, we'll leave those.
Yeah, those are for the not imagination, but seeing the movie. Because trust
Yeah.
me,
It's pretty cool.
yeah.
What all goes on with that? But anyway, so you like the characters? What did you think of just the concept of the movie in general? The whole virtual reality world and all that.
I enjoyed that part where everyone was literally stuck in the world that no one wanted to be in the real world. That almost every single person was in the Nexus. Am I correct? Nexus?
What? Oasis?
Oasis, thank you.
Yeah.
I don't know why I keep calling it the Nexus. The Oasis. And no one just wants to be in the real world. No one does nothing.
Again, another theme they explored a lot more in the book. Just the whole aspect of escapism, and the reason the world sucks is because everybody's ignoring it, just spending all their time in the Oasis.
Yeah, because everyone's ignoring everything. They're just in the Oasis.
Well, one passage from the book was like, what was it? He says point blank, the world around us is falling apart and is just crumbling into ruin, primarily from neglect, just because nobody wants to deal with problems or solve problems.
They
so
just
they're
want to hang out.
They just want to go off to whatever fantasy world they want to be in all the time.
Yeah,
which is a major theme, less major in the movie, but a very major theme in the book.
Yeah.
Um,
So, yeah, in the movie, everyone literally neglected the real world and was interested in the Oasis, which affected the real world because it neglected everything, and so things were falling apart. And people were just not people. They were just...
they weren't really in the real world. They're just all, lost in that fantasy world.
And they have a really cool moment at the end, where... the owner, the creator of the Oasis and all that, Halliday, and all that. This is around the time where Wade is getting the Easter egg, and getting
spoiler. He wins the contest.
Yeah, which is kind of obvious. He's the main character. So Halliday is giving him the Easter egg, and he's mentioning that he created the Oasis to enjoy yourself. And
specifically, he created the Oasis because he never felt at home in the real world, and he didn't know how to connect with anyone in the real world, so he just made a world all of his own that he could do whatever he wanted in. But then he makes the point that he didn't realize this until after he realized he was gonna die, that the real world is real, and it's the only place you can get a decent bite to eat.
Yeah,
which is a fair point. You look at how much time people spend doing all this escapist stuff nowadays between video games and movies and fandoms and all the stuff out there that just a distraction from the real world. It's a pretty heavy theme when you really get down to it.
Yeah.
Again, they kind of play it down. I mean, yeah, it's there in the movie, but they play it up a lot more in the book.
Yeah.
But
I really like that end scene where he's just like, but it's the only place you can get a good bite to eat. And I love the Shining part.
Yeah. Yeah, that did not happen in the book at all, but just randomly in the middle of the movie, they have to
go into the Shining.
Go into the Shining, yeah.
Oh, that was hilarious. And, I love H's reaction to this.
Yeah, the whole elevator with the blood and all that, and then
he freaking out.
And then the naked zombie lady and everything. Yeah.
H was really freaked out about this. He
doesn't like scary movies.
Yeah. It was really funny. That was one of my favorite parts in the movie, just this Shining part with H. And there were multiple other occasions.
There's just lots and lots of little moments that are just like, that was really cool. That was really cool. That was really cool.
There's just a lot of really cool moments in the movie.
It could be argued, I think, that there's a lot of really cool moments, but it doesn't necessarily string together entirely cohesively, and you could argue that there's a couple of plot holes here and there that don't really get addressed, and some stuff that doesn't make a whole lot of sense. But within the context of the movie, for the most part, it actually works together really rather
Yeah.
well. And that was the biggest thing I liked about it, was just that going into it, I knew it was going to be very different from the book. I knew that it's it's a 2 hour movie versus a 400-page book, and there's no way you're going to be able to fit in
Oh yeah,
all that
everything.
detail, all that complicated interplay.
That's what
stuff.
happens with books turning into movies. Is that they're gonna have to
There's
make
only
some
two
cuts.
movies I know of that have pulled off a note for note exact recreation of a book and actually did it well. The first one was the first Harry Potter movie. That thing, you read the book and you watch the movie, it's like, wait, this is the exact same thing, just one has moving pictures. It's staggering how much they managed to stay true to the book in that. The other one being, oddly enough, The Martian. You saw The Martian, right?
I think
The one with what's his face? He's trapped on Mars. He grows potatoes.
sounds familiar.
You should watch it. It's a really good movie. Also, a really good book. But again, the movie and the book are basically the exact same thing. So yeah, it's definitely very hard to transcribe a book exactly into a movie, and
Because that tends to happen.
and
when
even
a book
if you do, a
transforms
lot of
into
times
a
it doesn't
movie.
even work. Just because the way a book's structured and the way a movie is structured, they're two very different things, and they aren't
Oh,
going to
yeah.
mesh necessarily. So I knew going into it that it was going to be very, very different, and it was. But I really appreciated the fact that it was obviously still mostly the same story, and they had to change a lot of the core mechanics of the book just to make it fit within a movie. But within the context of the movie itself, I think it actually all worked together really rather well, with the exception of a few plot holes here and there. But let's not talk about that.
Plot holes.
Again, I wouldn't necessarily rate it as high as a 9. That's why I said around a 7, just because.
Again, this comes from the perspective of a person who hasn't read the book. That
Mhm.
tends to happen when you've read the book before you see the movie. Is that you
Oh, yeah.
tend not to like it as much as a person
Maybe I'm
who,
being really overcritical or whatever. But
because a person who reads a book and then sees the movie I'm not saying that you do this, but when a person reads a
I
book,
get what you're saying.
kind of nitpicks. It tries to nitpick in the movie.
Well, and I've been way overhyped for lots of movies before based off of books I've read or whatever. So
I'm trying to do that with Avengers Infinity War. I don't want to get hyped as much as I should, because I know Braden's overly hyped for that movie. And
if it sucks, he's gonna be so mad.
Yeah, like I bet it's gonna be a good movie. But I don't want to get my hypes up super high to the point where the movie's a good movie, but it isn't as high as my expectations wanted it to be.
I try to go into movies as neutrally as possible nowadays, because I've been burned lots of times where I got overhyped.
Yeah.
But
So I'm excited for the movie. It's just I'm not trying to get my hypes up super high.
Yeah. Again, though, we're talking about Ready Player One, not the Avengers.
But that tends to happen with people who read books and then
Oh yeah.
that. And that's probably going to be, I don't think it's going to be much of a problem for Ready Player One.
Yeah. And again, that's why I went in knowing that it's going to be very, very different. I recognize that and everything.
Yeah.
I do think that just as a standalone movie, it pulls it off for the most part, but it does have a fair number of issues, a fair number of things that could have been done a little bit differently. Stuff that would have made it a little bit smoother, a little better pace, yada yada yada. So just as a complete, ignoring the book entirely, just as a standalone movie, I would still give it around a 6 or a 7. I would say.
Overall, it is a really good movie.
Oh yeah.
With a few minor things and then a few plot holes.
Yeah. Now, what few minor things are you thinking of?
Well, some parts it kind of cut a bit too fast.
How so?
Where you'll be in this one scene and then you'll be fastly moved into this another scene, and before you can grasp where you're at, they push you back into another part.
Yeah. Well,
that wasn't happening through the whole movie, but in a few parts.
Yeah, I can kind of see what you and I think it again comes back to being a book adaptation.
Yeah.
They're kind of assuming that you're going to be at least a little bit familiar with the book, so if they kind of jump around a little bit, you're still going to be able to follow more or less what's going on because you follow the book.
Yeah.
Um.
So me being I haven't read the book, it confuses me a bit.
Yeah. Okay, so what was like your favorite scene, just out of the whole thing? What was your favorite individual bit?
Alright. Crud. Because there's a bunch of really good scenes.
Me personally, it would be a toss-up between the car race at the very beginning and the gigantic battle at the end.
Oh yeah, that battle was awesome.
Yeah, admittedly, so they have this massive confrontation between the entire Sixer army and all of the Oasis, just like smashing into each other and stuff.
Pretty much an epic giant battle.
And well, my brother put it best when he said that he hasn't seen a battle that epic and that grand of a scope since since he saw the Two Towers.
Really?
Yeah, he really
wow.
really got a kick out of that last battle.
And Timothy is really picky about that kind of stuff.
Yeah, Timothy. It was. I mean, he kind of went along with what I've been saying. Just nitpicky a little bit here and there. But he said he really liked the final battle.
That actually shocks me.
I'd almost be inclined to say I like the race scene a little bit better, just because it was so fast paced, so frenetic.
I like the race.
Just so rah! But through Spielberg being a ridiculously competent director, you could actually, it wasn't like Transformers where it's just like splash. You could actually tell what the heck was going on. You could actually follow what the different parts of the race were. It just needed
explosions, and it would have been a Michael Bay film.
Well, there was a lot of lens flare, so it was almost J.J. Abrams, but
yeah, if it was lens flares, it would be.
Oh, there was lens flare.
I mean, more.
Yeah.
If it had a bit more, that'd be J.J. Abrams, and if it had a lot of explosions, Michael Bay.
Yeah. Well, that and just massive, uncoordinated heaps of scrap metals smashing against each other in a gigantic.
They had Mechagodzilla versus Iron Giant.
But that's the thing. You compare Mechagodzilla versus the Iron Giant versus Megatron versus whatever.
Optimus Prime.
Whatever. You see, Godzilla's here, and he's like here, and it's actually, concisely coordinated. You can see what's going on. Then the whole thing where the Gundam comes in, and he's like, shwah, and he goes at it and all that. And that's really cool, and he's got those iconic moves and everything, and you can really see what's going on. As opposed to Optimus Prime, Megatron, shit. Oh, I'm dead.
Have you seen the new movie?
No, I don't want to.
Oh, you're going to.
No.
You're making me see Sharknado 4 and 5. I'm making you see Transformers.
I'm not making you do any such thing.
You told me you wanted me to see that movie. You're seeing Transformers.
Have you seen Sharknado 1?
Yes, I've seen Sharknado 1, 2, and 3.
Okay. I've actually only watched 1 and parts of the other one. I've not actually followed the sequels too much.
1 was a good one. Second one, yeah.
And just after that, off topic.
You messed up my hair.
A swoosh.
You're better than my cousin. My cousin, I had pomade in my hair, and my cousin went...
Pomade? Mm-hmm. You put pomade in your hair.
Remember, I don't have it in my hair now. Remember my Rhett and Link pomade?
Oh, that's right.
I put some in my hair for my recital.
Gotcha.
So, it definitely had some really cool scenes. The battle was definitely a good one.
Oh, yeah.
I definitely like the
holy hand grenade was kind of fun. Because he like chucks it into a mob of them and it explodes and it's just like, oh!
I love the show when he realizes like, holy hand grenade.
Yeah.
But I like the battle scene. I like that scene. I love the one scene where Halliday is giving him the Easter egg.
Yeah.
I love that scene.
Yeah, Halliday, just in general in the movie, was portrayed really, really well. Mark Rylance, he's not been in a lot of stuff, but everything he's been in, he is just really this incredibly heartfelt, just utter sweetheart of a guy. Because he was the BFG. Did you ever see that?
Wait, he played BFG?
Yeah, that was the same guy that played the BFG.
I had no idea about that.
Mark Rylance.
I love that movie.
Oh, yeah.
That was such a great movie.
Mm-hmm.
I had no idea.
Very underappreciated movie.
Oh, yeah.
But
I read the book, and then I saw the movie, and I was not disappointed.
Oh, yeah. You should watch the cartoon sometime. That thing is... Oh, that one's trippy. Literally.
So, yeah. So I love the end scene with Halliday giving...
the whole backstory and the whole thing of
that
him
whole scene
not being brave enough to kiss a girl and all that. It's like... They did a really, really good job with them. I would argue the other characters were a little bit cookie cutter. That they
could have had a better.
But honestly, they were kind of generic in the book too. Yeah. So, and honestly, Daito and he's called Shoto in the book. Dang it! I don't care if they call him Sho in the movie. That's dumb. It's Daito and Shoto. Together they make the team Daisho.
I never, I couldn't realize, see, but, are they actually brothers?
In
the movie.
No, well, in the movie, it's like one of them's Japanese and one of them's Chinese. Which is like, okay.
I thought they were brothers.
They were both Japanese in the book, and I can't really tell you much about them because massive spoilers.
Okay, but I did also love the scene where Halliday's like getting ready to leave his room after giving him the egg, and he's like, "Wait, is Halliday really dead?"
Yep.
And he's like, "Wait, then how are you?"
What are you?
And he's like, and he just
spooky.
He just laughed and was like, "Bye," and just closes the door.
Am I a ghost? Am I not a ghost?
Because it couldn't have been a program, because I wouldn't have been able to speak to him.
Oh, sure it would.
How?
That's super advanced computer stuff.
I don't know, but they left it off as a what?
It's like, oh, is it a ghost? What?
It's really interesting. It was really interesting.
And try not to accidentally delete the whole Oasis on your first day.
Oh my goodness, I love that. In that scene,
Mark Rylance,
they're being chased in a car, and so
he's like, so he's trying to do his whole virtual reality, getting tossed around and stuff.
He's getting tossed around in the van.
So within the game, he's just standing there like. Yeah,
and so what happens is they bump the van, and he falls right forward, and his hand almost catches the button that says
the big red button that completely deletes the Oasis.
And he's just like, and Halliday's just like, yeah, please don't delete the Oasis on your first day.
Yeah,
that was
Mark Rylance just completely steals the show every time he's in there. He's just such a sweetheart, such a just teddy bear of a guy.
I also like the Gundam scene after he loses his the Gundam, and the Mechagodzilla just lifts him up, and
he's like, screw you!
It gives him the finger, and then he just like burns him. It was really amusing.
Yeah. So
it was sad when Iron Giant died.
Poor Iron Giant, but at least he did their.
I love that cameo. It was just like that was a good cameo.
Hold it. Stick your thumb up like this. Closer. Cover up your face. There. This is our thumbnail.
What if that actually is our thumbnail?
You can select the thumbnail.
Can I?
Should be able to.
I don't know. I'll figure that out. I have a trouble with that.
Yeah.
So,
anyway, overall,
movie.
definitely a very enjoyable movie. Some things it could have done better, blah, 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 but evidently,
the point where,
evidently, if you've never read the book, it's, like, super cool and stuff.
Oh, so. Yeah. If you haven't read the book and you're debating on seeing this, definitely see it. I enjoyed it.
Oh, yeah.
Knowing nothing, zip about it.
Mm-hmm.
I enjoyed it really well. And that makes me happy because I like it whenever I see a movie that I have never seen, never heard of, never even knew anything about it.
Yeah, you're just going completely blind like that.
It allows you to enjoy the movie much more.
It makes you appreciate just, more on a completely neutral heading.
Yeah, how the movie is, and not to the point where a Star Wars movie or a DC movie or a Marvel movie or something like that where you're like, I kind of know what's probably going to happen. This was definitely a really good movie to go in neutral.
So yeah, if you get a chance, go ahead and watch it. You better hurry though. I don't know how much longer.
I think some places it's a week, some places probably 2 weeks.
I know here in town it's gonna be. This is last week, so get out there.
We were worrying because we wanted to go see the movie, and then I went to the timings. It's like, hurry up, final week. I'm like, uh-oh.
Yeah.
So it was either yesterday or today to watch it, and yesterday we had stuff to do. So.
Anyway, any other final thoughts, or should we just wrap it up here?
In total, I would say definitely a great movie. On a scale, would I rather not see it again or definitely own the movie? I'd definitely own the movie. And
wrap it up.
So, what would you say? On the better scale or the
movie good?
Movie good. So,
movie mostly good. I'm not even gonna be a side. It's still a thumbs up. Maybe just
A slanted thumbs up.
Slanted thumbs up, yeah.
So
good movie. Watch it.
yes. So you have our over opinions on this. Definitely go to see it if you can. But I think that's going to be it. Hope you guys did enjoy the video. Definitely hit the like button if you did. Let us know in the comments section whether you saw the movie and liked it, or haven't seen the movie and want to see it, or just give us your all opinions on the movie. I enjoyed it.
Let us know what you thought in the comments. All that jazz, yada, yada, yada.
So I will see you guys in the next video. Hope you guys have a great, wonderful day.
Yep.
Bye-bye.